It's Calling Kitty. Here's Kitty.
Oh, hi, what are we doing? Are we all right, gang? Oh, it is good to be in your earlobes. It really is. I hope you've had a great week. Look at me with me, me Stedler Norris School HB black and yellow pencil with red end. I mean, this brings back memories, doesn't it? It brings back memories of being at school. Now, if you are listening, you won't be able to get this visual reference. I urge you with every fiber of my being to go and click on the link in the show notes and get the audio visual experience of this, because click on that YouTube link and we can actually connect in a visual sense. And I've gone for a very natural look today, as you can see, but it is well worth checking out. I've got some lovely colors in my hair, and I've just given myself a quick trim this morning. Hiya, it's me, it's Kitty. It's Kitty Cassis. Cassis like the dark, sweet, viscous, slightly sickly liqueur, only tolerable in very small doses. Hiya. So, welcome to Calling Kitty. I don't know if you've been here before. If you've been here before, well done for coming back, Cock. All right, it's not easy. You need stamina, you need endurance and persistence to get through this lot, don't you? But if you've never been here before, it's a lovely, refreshing palate cleanser. It's a sorbet of a podcast. It's a lemon sorbet of a podcast. And really what we're doing is we're just popping into your little news feed in your inbox every week, just to say, hiya, how are you doing? You look gorgeous. I look gorgeous too. And I hope that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever current dystopian future that you are facing, or dystopian present, in fact, that you're all right and you're surviving. That's all we can hope for at this late stage in TikTok. Welcome to Calling Kitty. It's an audio podcast with a visual element. And you can get in touch with me. I always say this every single time. You can get in touch with me. Please do. Lots of people have. It's HIYAITSMEKITTY. It's a bit long-winded, isn't it? But one day somebody is going to set that to music, like a Liberace or something. Do you know what I mean? Somebody who's got real musical chops will, from beyond the grave, set that to some sort of tinkling tunes. So Calling Kitty is it's basically my attempt just to connect with me public, connect with me clients, past, present and future potential clients. But it is also a chance for me to tell you that I am doing public appearances, live public appearances. Now that might be in the local post office near you. It could be in the Working Men's Club near you. I've done a couple of WI gigs this week in village halls. So I am available. I'm available to come and meet in person. We can connect on a spiritual level, on a physical level. So go to hiyaitsmekitty.com. That again is in the show notes. And you can find out all my dates, where I'm going, what I'm doing. I am heading up that motorway this summer, like a lot of people in my world. We're heading up to Edinburgh, all right, because I believe the people of Edinburgh need attention, and they need aesthetic attention from someone like me. I can do I can do healing. I can do basically, if you need your aesthetic upgraded, if you need a glow up, come to Edinburgh this summer in August. I'll be around. You'll be able to find me on some cobbled street somewhere, getting me stiletto stuck in a grate. That will be me, all right. And I'll be able to, I can pin your eyelids back for you if that's what you need. I'm also doing, a back sack and crack for $7.99, just behind the big bins there, just off the main, off the Royal Mile. That's where you'll be able to find me, Cock. All right. Let me take a breath. That's for all of me ASMR fans out there who like to hear me swallowing and gurgling and doing all sorts. I'm still on the water, Cock. You'll be able to see that. I'm being very translucent this week. I'm not hiding any. I'm not hiding any liqueurs in my secret glass. That is water. It's H2O. It's the purest stuff. So I've had a busy week, gang. What have you been up to? Let me know what you've been up to. I've been busy. All right. I seem to have had an influx of celebrity clients recently. All right. Now, when I say celebrities, I mean this in the absolute loosest of terms, almost as loose as our Brian's bowels. All right. We are not talking Joan Collins and Rod Stewart. All right. Those days have long gone. That was something that I did back in the 80s. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the thing with famous people, they value discretion. All right. They don't like their business spread about like Lurpak. You know, I remember one sunny afternoon in 1998, I had Camilla Parker Bowles under the dryer. We'd put one of those rubber caps on with the little holes where you hook out the hair with a little sort of stainless steel hook. And we did her some lovely like marmalade streaks. She looked bloody brilliant. So we had Camilla Parker Bowles on the ground floor. We had Wincy Willis upstairs. She was having a very early incarnation of experimental Botox. That ended messily. And then we had Chris Biggins, who just popped in for an earlobe reading. All right, I've been doing these for a long time now. Chris has got a lovely dangle, and you can see quite clearly that he was one of Anne Boleyn's hangers-on just before she got... You know, now with the earlobe reading, a bit like when somebody reads your tea leaves or whatever, or even somebody reads your palm. Earlobe reading was something that me and Pam St. Clements, who played Pat Butcher in EastEnders, we developed this technology. And actually, if you get hold of that lobe and even maybe stroke the cartilage, you can find a lot about somebody's life, you know, where they were 400 years ago, where they're going to be in 400 years hence. And that was the vibe back then in my salon. You know, it was all the movers and shakers. All right. It were people who were regularly appearing in Hello Magazine. I don't know if we had Hello Magazine back then, but it was the people that were appearing in the National Enquirer. You know, they would straddle both sides of the international pond, and I had them all in my salon. They were the high, hazy days. All right. And I look back on them with a lot of fondness, but now it's a different vibration in my salon, to be honest, gang. You know, we're talking G-list. Okay. I'm scraping the sort of obscure personalities. That's my demographic that I'm working with. I mean, I've had Danny Bear in yesterday. Do you remember her? She wanted to try my new sloth semen facial. Now we're getting rave reviews about this. If you do fancy booking in with me, like I said, you can find me on tour, or you can actually book in to come and see me in my very own salon. And I do work mobile as well. All right. I can come round at any point in my Nissan Micra, pull up. I've got everything that I need there. But she's happy. All right. She's gone away from here. I mean, she's gone away from here just looking amazing. All right, she was a bit slower than when she left, a bit slower than when she came in, but that's all part of, you know, we need to wait for the healing to happen. We need to wait for the bruising to go down, and then we can maybe get a testimonial out of her. And then I've got Claire Sweeney booked in for tomorrow. She called me. She said, Kitty, she said, I want to try cryotherapy. And I thought, now, is that where you collect the entitled tears of conservative backbenchers' children and then spin them in a centrifuge to separate out the privilege? Is that what you do? Is that what cryotherapy is? You smear that on your jawline to give the appearance of a wealthier looking skin? Well, she said, no, Kitty, no, it's not. Apparently, it's not that. So this is all about cold therapy. I don't know if any of you have tried it. I don't know if any of you want to try it. I've just cleaned out me Russell Hobbs Montpellier chest freezer in white with 400-litre capacity and adjustable thermostat. Now, we have had that chest freezer down in the shed for years. It's absolutely massive. I mean, we used to freeze everything in there. I mean, my mother and her mother before her would use that as a freezer. She'd freeze the milk in there. She'd freeze eggs in there. And you know, I mean, I even found a couple of pork chops from 6 years ago, and I'll do those for our Dave's tea tonight. So we're going to throw a couple of blankets in there for Claire and just try out this cryotherapy thing. So what I'll do is I'll probably just close that freezer. I've got the step ladder. She's going to hop in there. And she's up for this. This is the great thing about Claire Sweeney. And it is a great thing about a lot of these celebrities. They don't have a lot to lose anymore, to be honest. And so what we'll do is pop her in there, and then I'll probably keep her in there for about 2 days, just initially, just to see how that works, check on her and just see how that goes. Because what we're really trying to do is reduce inflammation at this point. All right, that's what we're trying to do. And, you know, we've got to try everything at this point. And I always say this to people. I always say, keep an open mind. All right. A lot of people, once they enter this world of beauty and technology and science, it's a different, you know, you're working on different levels, and you've got to be open. You've got to be open to different things. So we'll try that, and we'll see how it goes. I'll check in with you later. Let me know if you've had any weird treatments. Let me know if you've bought anything from my website, hireitsmekitty.com. Let me know how you're getting on with all of my products. I might even roll out this cryotherapy thing. I've got a feeling it's going to work. Yeah, I've got a feeling that it could be the next big thing that takes off. All right, so check in with me about that. Now, I always say to you, you can get in touch with me any way you want. Maybe you've got something that you need to promote to the 27 people who listen to this podcast every week. Maybe you've got a show that you're doing yourself. Maybe you've got a book that you need to promote. Maybe you've invented something. Maybe you're at your office job and you've actually worked out a new way to go from Excel spreadsheet and actually migrate that into Microsoft Word. If you have, please do let me know, Treasure, because I'm struggling with Excel. I'm not going to lie. Every time I put my finger on that mouse, the whole bloody grid moves. So I've had to just go back to graph paper at this point. I can't be doing with it. Honestly, it's twisting me melons, man. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, get in touch with me. And I believe that, let's just have a look now. Let me see, because I think that somebody has got in touch with me. Oh, what did I tell you? Go on. Go on.
Hello, testing. Hello there.
Yep.
I wonder if you could help me. I've got a little.
I'll certainly try.
With a friend of mine. We're actually on holiday at the moment, and to say that she's a bit of a negative Nancy.
I'm not quite that negative, darling.
I think you are, though, sweetie.
Oh, she's
I
there?
really do think you are.
No, I try to be very, very positive,
Well,
darling.
let's just give Kitty a little bit of background. Yeah. Introduce yourself, sweetie.
Okay, so my name is Cynthia Smythe Riding, and I'm married to Jeff for the last 37 years, and I've been very, very long suffering. I have to tell you the truth.
But darling, I think he has as well, let's face it.
No.
I mean, darling, you don't do anything without him, do you?
Well, I try to do
darling,
things,
you can't even put petrol in your car.
Yeah, but he tells me how to do it, darling. I do ask him, and he does show me how to do things.
I'll tell you what, you'd be very lost, darling, if anything happened to him, God forbid. And to tell you the truth, the way that he stuffs that foie gras down his gullet, I mean, honestly, I think his blood pressure must be very high. Anyway.
But, darling, I know that you'd help me if Jeff wasn't here anymore, my darling heart.
I can't be here all the time. You know how many cruises I have a year. But the thing is, Kitty, the reason that we're contacting you is we need to try
get around to it,
her
Treasure.
out of this negative cycle. What can she do to cheer herself up, be a little bit more glass half full rather than glass half empty?
Well, I know my glass is always half empty. I do try, darling, I do try.
Yes, you do. You're very trying, that's true, yes.
But the thing is, you know, I often speak to Jeff. I often speak to him and say to him, look, darling, I need to do this for me. And he's not very forthcoming. And
well, he's often away, isn't he? He often goes away with that young boy in his office.
What?
Oh, here we
Tony?
go. The plot
Yes.
I
thickens.
can't bear Tony. He does my head in.
No, I know, but darling, he's got his needs. Anyway, Kitty, if you can give us some advice. She seems so positive, doesn't she? She's so positive.
Absolutely a darling
about
with her outfits, her leopard print. I must get the leopard print
No,
outfits.
darling, don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway, Kitty, let us know, sweetie. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, now. Bloody hell, there's a lot to unpack here, gang, isn't there? Oh, my God. So it looks like Cynthia Smythe Ridings and her, I'm going to say it, quite toxic friend have phoned in, and it sounds like they've had a couple of sherbets. They've left a message on me voicemail there, haven't they? Okay, let's unpack this. It sounds, so what you want to know is, how does Cynthia get more positive? It sounds like she's quite codependent on her husband, Jeff. And the friend there is really trying. I mean, if you go on a lot of cruises, that was mentioned there, that you're always on your cruises, perhaps you could take Cynthia with you. All right. That's something that came up for me. And I mean, also, again, when I get these messages in, I'm working on lots of different levels, aren't I? I'm working on what's actually being said, and I'm also working on what's not being said there. Now, I don't know if you can actually feel the crackle of psychic ability coming in there. I'm feeling like perhaps there is an option to bump Jeff off. Now, that's not an innuendo. I'm talking about, does he have a pension? Does he have a will? It always seems to come back to some sort of legal framework, doesn't it? But I think that Cynthia and her friend there could, there's lots of ways that you can just drop a few just get a little pipette and drop a few bits of cyanide into that foie gras. And before you know it, you would have a situation where, you two could be going on this cruise together. Because also the other thing that I'm picking up, I'm getting sort of Ellen DeGeneres vibes. There's definitely lesbian aroma that I'm getting from this call as well. All right. Never mind Jeff and Tony. That's a whole different thing that we'd need to unpack there. But I think that you almost you almost need to be well-funded ladies going on cruises. That is what is going to make you more positive, Cynthia. All right. And if you are listening to this, Cynthia, let me tell you, all right, you can put fuel in your own vehicle. All right. Always check that whether it's unleaded or diesel. God knows we've been through that so many times in my local cul-de-sac where I live. We've had no end of problems. I mean, at one point, Barbara had to actually suck out the diesel with a hose pipe, just so that it didn't mess the engine up. But anyway, so you can do things like, you can change a plug on your own, Cynthia. You can make your own meals. You can finish yourself off, Cynthia. I've got full faith in you. If you're one of my leopard print gang, and actually, I didn't get the toxic friend's name in that voice note, but she said that you wouldn't be able to wear leopard print. Well, listen to this, right? You can actually wear leopard print. Anybody can wear leopard print. If the mayor of Blackburn can wear leopard print, and he does, believe me, he's got a corset, I've seen it, then you can wear leopard print, Cynthia. All right. Let me know how you get on with that. All right. In fact, I would like to see a picture of you in leopard print, Cynthia. But if you could also get Tony's details for me as well, that would be great. All right. Listen, this has been Calling Kitty. I've just dropped into your little inbox just to give you a little taste of my life and a taste of my world and what's happening out there. Send me your messages. Send me a facsimile. Send me a spreadsheet, if you like. I'll pull my hair out trying to get it on Excel spreadsheets. Send me a DM. Send me a message. Any way that you like to get in touch with me if you need me to solve any of your problems. All right. Do you know what? You've been great listeners today. You have. I hope you're proud of yourselves, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, from the bottom of my colonic to the very tips of my acrylics. This has been Calling Kitty. You've been gorgeous. All right.
Like, follow, subscribe, sign your life savings over to Calling Kitty. Available on all the podcast platforms.